All right, we're going live. Welcome, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, everybody. New week, new opportunity to hang out and talk Royal Caribbean. So thank you for joining me here on this Monday. Each and every Monday, we are live here on YouTube to talk Royal Caribbean, answer your cruise questions. And when we're not live here, we're over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, keeping very busy with all the latest Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice, really everything to help you, I guess these days, stay updated with what's happening. And then when cruising does return, you'll have all the information you need. Jared is our first chatter in. Jared, good to see you here. Mike Pastore in the house. What's up, Mike? Hope you're doing well. Congratulations on your trivia win. Javon is here. Welcome, Javon. Sophie Burns. Hello, Sophie. Mark Hunter. We got Bren. Nisa in the house. Mad Attack. What's up, man? What's up, Nisa? How are you? Dennis Orman. Logan Yoho in the house. Powerful female. Cheryl Osborne is here. Israel Camacho. Stacy Royal Caribbean in the house as well. Chantra Williams. Mark Hunter. Welcome, everybody. Got all our friends hanging out here. Don Goldstein, Commander. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Robert Jaworski. Robert, I answered your email on this week's episode of the podcast coming out on Wednesday for you to check on out. Brett in the house. Good afternoon, Brett. Hope everything is lovely in Southern California. I'm sure it's another beautiful day in San Diego. We got Joe joining us from Fort Lauderdale. Welcome. Gary Cooper is here. Aurelia is here. Aurelia, happy birthday. Guys, everybody in chat, please wish Aurelia a very happy birthday. Thanks for joining us here on your special day. Steve Schley from South Carolina. Yo, back to you. Don Kaldenberg took your advice, paid off the cruise for October 11th out of San Juan. Thank you again for the advice. You're very welcome, my friend. I'm glad. I hope it works out for you. I really do. I really do. We got Thomas Hooley from Massachusetts in the house. Welcome. Kathy L. Hello. Harley Owens from Ridge Manor, Florida. If I lived in Ridge Manor, that's how I would pronounce it. Yeah, I'd like to have that shipped to me, please. My name is Matt Hochberg. Yeah, and I live in I live in Ridge Manor, Florida. Yes, that's R-I-D-G-E, Manor. You gotta say it like that, right? It's Aurelia's birthday. Steve Chalet says, happy birthday to somebody. I don't know who it is. Jared with our first super chat of the evening. Thank you, Jared, for the super chat. Jared writes, keep checking the prices for your upcoming Royal Caribbean cruises. I was able to get another $51 off my February 2021 cruise. Great point right there. I'm glad you brought that up. First of all, glad you saved some money. And second of all, guys, today's day and age, everybody, regardless of where you live, you can actually take advantage of price drops now. Royal Caribbean's best price guarantee has allowed everybody, even people in the UK, Australia, countries where this wasn't usually available, you can now reprice your cruise. So I don't want to say you have to go there every day. I mean, Michael Pastore does that. He's a little eccentric, but you don't have to go to those lengths, but you can reprice. I try to do it like every time there's a new promo out there. Take advantage of those price drops. Absolutely. And we've got another super chat coming in here. D. Matthew M. who writes, hey there, Matt. 102 temperature. Feels like 110 in Dallas today. Need to be on a cruise. My friend, it could be 20 below, and I would still need to be on a cruise. I know that feeling all too well. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay cool, man. Just stay inside. Come back outside in November. You know, that'll be safe. So, Dennis Orman, Matt, what do you think of the new Royal Caribbean logo? You know, of course, it's the Royal Caribbean Cruises logo. It's the parent company. It's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm more indifferent than anything. Laura O'Donnell, the pride of Kansas City, is here. Laura, it's my husband alerted me you were live here. My goodness, Laura. Things gotten so destitute in Kansas City that you can no longer be bothered to keep track of when I go live. That good old Clayton, man after my own heart, is the one who's doing the Lord's work and telling you when I am live. Wow, Clayton, you're a good man. I don't know how you deal with her. Probably a lot of Snickers bars. But Laura, it is good to see you. We miss you here. Hope everything is well. Nick Perez with a super chat. Thank you, Nick, for the super chat. Nick writes, hi, Matt. Anthem January 26th, back to back. Dude, Love me a back-to-back cruise. Nice. Nice. Evidently, there's a Ridge Manor reunion going on in chat right now. So, Araceli is here. Hey, Matt, it's 107 in San Antonio. Oh, my God. Look, it's not like it's that much cooler here in Florida, but goodness, people, stay inside. Stay inside. Laura, I didn't have my notifications on for some reason. Oh, you called? I didn't know. I didn't get the voicemail. I see how it is. It's okay. I'll be fine. No, it's fine. I'm just, there's something in my eye. It's the pollen. Tukes Vegas, love the live show. Can you please send out notifications each Monday a few hours before you go live so we don't miss it? I might have to start getting into that habit, Tukes. I think you're 100% right. I mean, for a long time, people have been asking me, Matt, can you put out a schedule? And the problem is, the second I put out a schedule, I know I'm going to run into a problem, right? Something in real life is going to happen, and I'm not going to be able to stick to it, and I would feel awful if you guys are all here, except for Laura O'Donnell, on time, waiting for me to go live, and I'm not here. So, that being said, it stands to reason probably 2 to 3 hours before I go live, I have a good idea of when I'll go live, so I might have to start getting in that habit. I think it's a really good idea, so thank you for the recommendation. Carlos, hey Matt, I have a cruise this November, haven't booked my flight yet. If you were me, would you book a flight really hoping we sail this November? Depending on the airline, I would. Carlos, it really depends on the airline policy. So the good news is a lot of airlines have very flexible policies in terms of no change fees. If you can get a flight for a good price, and more importantly, that flight has the ability to have a no change fee option. I know most of them do, but as long as you take advantage of at least that, let alone any kind of refund policy, that would be what I would do, just in case, because you really don't want to be in the end, your cruise canceled and you have a non-refundable cruise airfare rather that you're stuck with. So, Randy Patrick with a giant super chat. Woo! Thank you, Randy. 494 days till Thanksgiving Group Cruise 2021. Under 500 days, baby. Been out a few weeks. Good to be back, Randy. Good to see you back here, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Tim Gallagher back from refreshing the pool and hot tub life, brother. It is back to the grind. I was still working last week, but I'm back in the Royal Korean Blog studios, hanging out with you guys. Chad Hay is here. Welcome, Chad. Nothing But Sports wants to know, is it true that Royal Caribbean teamed with the Norwegian? Yeah, they did for their new Healthy Sail panel, which was announced last week. Basically, Royal Caribbean and Norwegian were basically doing the same work at the same time with the same people, and they were like, do you guys know that you're both doing the same thing? So they joined forces, which is really rare. I mean, this is like UPS and FedEx, Pepsi and Coke, Laura O'Donnell and Michael Poole. It just doesn't happen. These people do not come together. But in this situation, yes, they're teaming up to work on a new policies and procedures for cruises to resume schedule. It's called the Healthy Sail Panel. It is Royal Caribbean calls it a blue ribbon panel. I think it's a really good phrase for it because it is a who's who of scientists, doctors, government leaders. There's only one. There are actually only 2 cruise industry people on there. One from Norwegian, one from Royal Caribbean, just to be able to give some advice on what's practical. But really, this is led by and run by this Healthy Sail Panel. These health officials to come up with the absolute best strategy for cruise ships to resume sailing with the absolute best efforts to keep guests and crew members safe. So it's really it's unprecedented in many ways, and I was pleasantly surprised by it in a number of different ways as well. Shannon Miller, hello and welcome. Glad to have you here. Harley Owens, is it true that I heard Royal Caribbean sold Monarch and Sovereign from Pullmantur for scrap? Harley, I have not seen anything official from the cruise line at all. You are right on a couple. So here's what we do know. Pullmantur Cruise Line, which is a Spanish cruise line that Royal Caribbean has some ownership in. I forget the exact percentage. They declared bankruptcy. There's a form of bankruptcy. Their reorganization. Anyway, long story short, people started wondering what's going to happen to the ships, of course. And there's been people who've been watching the ships on marine traffic, and it looks like maybe they're going to be scrapped. I don't know. I haven't seen. Royal Caribbean. When I say Royal Caribbean, I mean Royal Caribbean Group has said nothing about it. There's been no confirmation one way or another. So it's really hard to know. That's why I have not posted anything about it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, because I just don't feel confident enough in the information that I know definitively that's going to be the case. You know what I mean? So there's really, it's a lot of just conjecture and foreign language press reports, which are notoriously wrong in a lot of cases, especially when you're relying on Google Translate to do the work. So I don't know. It's possible, but I've not seen anything yet to that point. Kelly M. Family is booked for Harmony of the Seas February 2020, but no one thinks we'll be going. Well, Kelly, listen, I don't blame them in the sense that, listen, look, we're all living this. We all know what's going on in the world today. It is very easy to be pessimistic with everything going on. My hope is that when we get to February, we're going to be back resuming sailings. I mean, look, if you want to look on the glass is half full, number one, we have the Healthy Sail Panel. The Healthy Sail Panel, which I just talked about a little bit, is going to have their initial recommendations by end of August, right? So they get that end of August. There's going to be a couple of rounds back and forth here. It's not unreasonable that they've got a plan of action in place to resume sailings either late this year or sometime next year. But hey, there's a lot can happen between now and February. So, are you sure I can't have the Monopoly? Just kidding, Matt. Love the videos. You cannot have it. It's all mine, but I'm glad you're enjoying the videos, my friend. Michelle Pros writes, hang on, Michelle. God Guts, you're in a reserved our hotel in Puerto Rico for December. What are your thoughts on the Sheraton Old San Juan? I've stayed there twice. Both times I've cruised out of San Juan. It's fantastic. Really good hotel. You can't go wrong with that one. James Sablin in the house. What's going on, dude? Welcome. Mark Hamill, what are your thoughts on England no sail advisory? It's a double standard, my friend. It's a classic case of, first of all, the cruise industry is responsible for a very, 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 very minor percentage of cases that are out there, number one. Number two, the cases that were out there are back in like February and March when no one knew anything about this virus. And, it wasn't like anybody else was operating, responsibly. Number three, the chief, they're advising not to go on a cruise. Meanwhile, airplanes and a ton of other venues are operating normally. It's just a double standard. That's all it is, Mark. I saw that news. I shook my head at it in the same way I shook my head about similar measures here in the United States when the State Department made recommendations not to go cruising, and obviously the CDC. It's not that I don't think that, if the government feels so strongly that this is a problem, that's totally fine, but then you need to treat the entire travel sector appropriately. Shut the airlines down. They won't do that because, we need the airlines. Not for what's the word? The travel that's not necessary. There's a better word for it, but you know what I mean. Like, you can really nail this thing down when you start eliminating air travel, because that really takes out the legs of this virus spreading from region to region so quickly, right? There's a lot of things you can do there, and if you want to go down that path to truly eradicate the virus, I'd be the first one to say, hey, let's do what we need to do here. But you can't tell me, cruise ships are a problem, but all those other things out there, totally fine. No worries about that, So, Donna Hines, did you see that Key West doesn't want cruise ships anymore? I did see that, yeah. So there's a group, a political action committee in Key West that they're putting out a petition for people to sign put on the next election, for the residents to vote on limiting cruise ships to like no ships larger than I think 1,500 passengers or something like that, which would eliminate any Royal Caribbean ship from going there. And listen, there's always been a vocal group of people who live in Key West and some other cities as well that don't love cruising. They're hiding behind the fact. My favorite is they're hiding behind coronavirus, right? They're like, cruise ships spread coronavirus. They're dirty. They bring out all these tropes again, ignoring the fact that you can fly in from, you can fly from Texas. No offense to you guys in Texas, another state that's dealing with big coronavirus issues. You can fly to Key West right now. Sure. Take a flight over to Key West International. Come on in there. Rub your hands all over everything. Totally fine. But the cruise ships, that's the real spread of coronavirus. It is, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have a bias against cruising that are out there. And they are looking, they see blood in the water. So I hope cooler heads prevail. Mel21, my cruise was canceled on June 11th. When will I get a refund? Number one, Mel, I guess this maybe goes without saying, but I got to ask. I assume you've already you requested the refund, right? That's number one. Number two, it's taken them about 30 to 45 business days to process it, but they are flowing. I have gotten my fair share of refunds as well. Jared, what's the cheapest the drink package will go for on a 7-night cruise? Like $30? Oh, per person? These days, you're in the cheapest, you'll probably see it somewhere in the 40s, Jared. But again, the price of the drink package varies from ship to ship, sailing to sailing. So what Mike Pastore paid for the drink package and what I pay for the drink package and what you'll pay for the drink package, totally different things right there. So, Kathy says, in my opinion, cruise ships very clean, washy-washy, and all good. Not only that, you got to understand, if you're looking at what cruise ships were like in March versus what they will be when they resume, I mean, let me give you an example. I mean, Walt Disney World just reopened in Florida, okay? Walt Disney World is a massive facility. They instituted a number of policies and procedures to keep their visitors safe. They're not operating the same way they were in March. So the idea that you can say, oh, look at Diamond Princess, look at Diamond Princess. Okay, first of all, that was one ship. Number two, that was before anybody knew what was going on here. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's so many factors that are just being glossed over or simply being misrepresented. That's unfortunate. And it really just reflects an unfortunate cruise bias that exists. There's a lot of people who not only do not like cruising or don't care for cruising, but they believe it is the source of many problems, of which that's not the case at all. But it's okay. People have different opinions. We're not here to convince the entire world everyone should go on a cruise. We're here to have a fair playing field. That's all. Let's see here. Mike already got his Odyssey inaugural deposit back, waiting on July 4th and Labor Day weekend. There you go. John Stump, only 3 people died on the Grand Princess, 103 cases. Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not also Diamond Princess, which, by the way, is the worst case of coronavirus on any cruise ship. Was not like 100% of people got it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like everybody got it. No, it's actually, I don't remember what the percentage was, but it wasn't, 3/4. It wasn't full. It wasn't even, I think it was even less than half, if I'm not mistaken. But again, yeah. I think it was more than 46 people, John. I think it was triple digits. But again, on a cruise ship of thousands, keep it in perspective. That's all I'm saying. And again, that was when there were no policies in place. They really had no idea. I feel bad for them in that situation. Looking back on it now, that's the problem. And there was a lot of mismanagement. Jay points out that as well. Yeah, I mean, nobody knew what they were doing back then. And look, I don't necessarily want to excuse it, but I do think you have to look at that as the outlier, not the norm. So there you go. Dylan, hey Matt, my cruise is set to sail on September 28th. Do you think this will still happen? Dylan, my friend, I am so glad you asked me this question, because if you go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, on the homepage, there is a brand new blog post waiting for you that nobody knows if your cruise will happen, regardless of when it is, Dylan. But I'm actually pointing that out because it's actually, you bring up a very fair question, and I want to give you a very fair answer, in that nobody knows if any cruise will happen at this point, and why that answer is. Check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Pooji is here. What's up, Pooji? Honeymoon on Allure. What's a must-do besides Mamma Mia? Yes, we have the deluxe beverage package. I would say it's your honeymoon, dude. Do at least, you don't have to go crazy, especially dining, but I would probably buy a 3-night dining package. I think that's a good fit for you guys. Work in some specialty restaurants. That is really nice. And I'd also say, while you're on board, maybe book a massage, some time at the spa. I would tell you that I think the couples massages are a waste of money because they're vastly overpriced. You will find, I think, a better value just booking 2 different massages at the same time rather than you both being in the same room. It's not that exciting because it's not like you're holding hands and looking at each other's eyes. Your eyes are closed. You're just in the same room together. You've seen each other before. This is not new to you. So I think the couples massages are overpriced. But on that note, you should still maybe, splurge a little bit. Do a little spa time there. Enjoy something. But again, book 2 different ones. It'll be cheaper, better value. Kelly, I heard the buffet might be taken out. Is that true? No. Royal Caribbean said probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, Kelly, we posted on the Royal Caribbean blog that the buffet is remaining. Yes, it may be some changes in terms of how it's served and whatnot, but the buffet will be there. BJ, will Allure still come to Galveston? Not as scheduled, BJ. Right now, the earliest she would be there would be 2022. Originally, she was supposed to be there next year, 21. But Royal Caribbean has pulled the reins back. They don't have any money, so they're not going to be able to build the new cruise terminal as scheduled. So there's been a year delay on that one. Benjamin Cohn, have you seen the movie with Kelsey Grammer on Netflix that took place on Harmony? Benjamin, I was on that ship and sailing when they filmed it. Yeah, it was funny. We were at Lauderdale. They were filming it on the ship, and then we were at Lauderdale, and I think Kelsey Grammer and the girl from Frozen. They were taking a break. Anyway, we had a cabana. They had a cabana. Our cabana was right next to Kelsey Grammer's cabana and the lady from Frozen. And of course, is anyone surprised by this? This is Celebrity Row, right? Me, Frazier, and Anna, right? Tony Diaz with a super chat. Thank you, Tony. Let's start a petition to get Matt on Royal Caribbean's Blue Ribbon Health Panel. Sir, welcome to the panel. What's your name and what's your accreditation? Oh, welcome everybody. My name is Matt. I'm from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I've been on YouTube before. Okay, sir. There's some trash in that room, and I think some extra cups. If you could take those out, that'd be great. Thanks. Terry, Symphony of the Seas repositioning. Negative. Kristen Bell. My goodness. Yes, I should know that, but I did not know that. Lady from Frozen, Kristen Bell. You know what I'm talking about. What's Wild Will? How many days will the Allure of the Seas sail out of Port Canaveral? I think she's only there for a little bit of time, Will. I believe she goes from like either Miami or Fort Lauderdale up to Canaveral, down to Fort Lauderdale again. I forget the exact timing on that, my friend. It's I can't recite it off the top of my head, but it's not that long. MJ, do you think Royal Caribbean will dump more older ships as Carnival is? Just don't want to lose Rhapsody. You know, it's a possibility, MJ. I would say this. I would say more than likely, if they were going to announce it, I'd say the next opportunity is probably before their next quarterly earnings. That's when Carnival announced theirs. It stands to reason that could be the case. I mean, listen, all cruise ships eventually do get retired. Carnival was taking the opportunity to retire ships faster in order to save money. And by retiring, we're talking about, the scrap heap. Because they just, they're just, it's like early retirement, but there's no green pasture and barn to look at, kids. These ships are going straight back into molten metal. But that being said, sorry to paint such a bleak picture there, it remains to be seen. Who knows? You have to keep in mind that Carnival's fleet is substantially larger than Royal Caribbean's. Also keep one other thing in mind, MJ. When we talk about Carnival, when we talk about Royal Caribbean, we're really talking Carnival Corporation, and we're really talking Royal Caribbean group, the Royal Caribbean group. I gotta get the new name right. So when they say 13 Carnival ships are being retired, they're not saying Carnival Cruise Line necessarily, although that could be part of it. It's also Costa, Princess, and all the other cruise lines that they own that I can't recite off the top of my head. So keep that in mind. Terry, how often are free drink dining package deals? Never, ever, dude. If you live in like the UK, I know sometimes you guys get that as like a perk. It's a farce. You're paying for it. They're just including it in the price of your cruise. But if you live in the US, Canada, it's never offered by Royal Caribbean. It's not a thing that Royal Caribbean offers. So, Aurelia, have a great evening. Thanks for joining us. Happy birthday again. Tony Diaz, just send the Kraken to Matt's room for quarantine. Perfect. I like that. Walter White wants to know, will Baltimore ever get more than one ship? Like, probably not. It's not a major cruise port. Javon says, is there a reason Navigator is moving to Fort Lauderdale in 2022? I think they just want to mix things up, Javon. I think part of the reason is they're looking to, if I'm not mistaken, her itineraries get expanded a little bit. She's doing 4 and 5 nighters, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's part of the reason, and that opens up a spot for another ship to be doing those shorter sailings out of Miami. So, let's see here. Lisa McBrain is here. Welcome, Lisa. Late or not, I'm glad you guys are here. Welcome. Glad to have you joining us here on YouTube. My name is Matt. I'm from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Glad to have you guys here as we talk some Royal Caribbean. Excuse me, Steve Schley, has Wonder been delayed through all of this? Not yet. Nothing's been announced by Royal Caribbean one way or another, my friend. But they have said, Steve, Royal Caribbean has said they expect shipyard delays in 2020 and 2021. Obviously, Odyssey is already delayed, so it stands to reason there's a good chance, perhaps, we will see that happen with Wonder of the Seas. Gary Miola Jr., thank you for your generosity, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Cheers to another live stream. Virtual Kraken for you. I wish I had a real cup here. So, virtual cup with my virtual Kraken. Cheers, everybody. I would not shoot Kraken. It's more of a sipping drink, but man, I haven't had Kraken in forever. I really should have some. It's awesome. Thank you, Gary, for your generosity. We have such great folks in here who are super generous, not only with their time, but also with their donations, and that really goes a long way. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Paul Somerville should have had my $18 drink package cruise last week. Paul, listen, man, I know exactly what you're going through. I had 2 of them. They're gone, along with 9 other cruises. My goodness. Yeah. Let's see here. I hope Urshad, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. I hope to go next year on a Waste of the Seas. We're from Amsterdam. Drink package, is that necessary? No, it's not necessary. I think when it comes to the drink package, it can save you money, but you don't have to get it. If you're not a big drinker, if you're not going to drink 5 to 6 drinks a day every day of your cruise, it's simply not worth it. Now that sounds like a lot, because at home, I don't know about you, I don't have 5 to 6 drinks a day. On a cruise ship, I do, because it's very easy. You're on vacation. You're just kind of, you have like, you have a Bloody Mary in the morning, right? You go out to the pool deck in the afternoon after lunch, and you have 2 or 3 drinks over there, right? You have two drinks at dinner. You have a drink after dinner. You basically broken even on that, right? And when I say drinks, I'm really talking about cocktails. So it's pretty easy to make up for that, but that's one day. You multiply that out by 7. Kind of hard to say there, Gary. Sorry, Earshad. So it's not necessary, but it's nice to have. It's a good budgetary thing. It's very convenient. A lot of people like it for those reasons. Susan Westfall with the super chat. Susan, thank you so much for your generosity, Susan. Very, very kind of you, and good to see you here, my friend. When is my next cruise, Sarah? My next cruise right now, as it stands, January 2021 on Brilliance of the Seas, 4-nighter out of Tampa. Obviously, if Royal Caribbean were to resume sailings before that, I would probably book something. But as of right now, that's where I'm sitting. So, Denise, thinking of lift and shift from Symphony to Oasis, what's the biggest difference in those ships? Ooh, it used to be a bigger difference, Denise, but now actually, I would say, what are the biggest differences? The shows, that's probably the biggest one. Different shows on different ships. Cats, the Broadway musical on Oasis. Symphony has Hairspray. Among the other shows are different as well across the other ship. The Symphony Solarium bar is much nicer. Beyond that, I mean, you're really talking about minute stuff. It's really just the shows, because actually Oasis has some things that Symphony doesn't have, namely the updated Adventure Ocean program. It's like Adventure Ocean 2.0, if you want to call it that. Those are the big ones. It's really a lot closer. That was the whole point of it. Lisa, is there a smaller drink package that would cover soda? Yes, Lisa. There is just a soda package that only has soft drinks. It's called the Classic Soda Package, and that's a lot cheaper. But that's just soft drinks. Let's see here. Captain Table's main dining room. What's up, dude? Have you ever toured the medical facilities on board any ship, and are they equipped to treat ALS patients or just basic life support? Good question. I have been in them because my daughter's gotten sick before. But I'm not taking a tour, and I don't know the answer to your question about their ability to treat. They have a lot of facilities there. You'd be surprised. But for something as significant, if you're talking about ALS like Lou Gehrig's disease, I can't answer that question, my friend. I would recommend you reach out to Royal Caribbean to get an answer on that, because that's obviously depending on a lot of factors, a lot of things there. Their facilities are extensive, but I wouldn't ever recommend them be it's more for emergencies than it is for, I don't want to call it preventative care, but certainly maintenance care, if that makes sense. But again, I would reach out to them because I just don't know the answer. I mean, Michael says in chat they can do that, which is, advanced life support. Okay, that's a whole lot different than Lou Gehrig's disease. Okay, that makes sense. I still don't know the answer to your question. They have a lot of things in there. It's more than just someone who can dole out Tylenol. They have prescription drugs. I know that over time we've seen people who have had more life-threatening conditions, breaks and falls, heart issues. They can do some stuff. They're more of a triage. Like, they don't have an ICU, or they're basically gonna treat you to keep you going to eventually get you off the ship. That's like their first goal right there. Team, with all the cancellations, are you still booking new cruises, or are you waiting for cruise to resume? I'm basically waiting, although actually last week I just booked 2 cruises. I rebooked Spring Break to have something, because I'm gonna go on Spring Break. So I rebooked that, and I also rebooked the Odyssey of the Seas for when she arrives in North America in November. So I am booking stuff, but not like at the pace I would be otherwise. Otherwise, I'm only booking things that I deem absolutely necessary. John Lally, in your opinion, strictly your opinion, because I know you can't answer what you don't know. Do you think cruises are resuming this year? John Lally, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I swear, guys, I know what you're saying, John. I know that you know what I know, that you know that I know, that you know that I know, that you know. I can't give out the answer. I can't answer that because it's not a fair question. I can't give you a fair answer because I'd be making it up. But it is true, John. There is no way to know. my opinion, you might as well, John, you should ask me winning lottery numbers, because I bet you have a better chance of guessing those correctly than being able to say if the cruises are going to resume this year. There's not enough information and too many variables to even guess. I mean, we can flip a coin like 5 times, see what it had. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not being facetious. I simply, I really don't know. If tomatoes are fruit, then is ketchup a smoothie? Deep thoughts from KJD. Terry Kim, do you know who I can contact for potentially getting an internship opportunity with Royal Caribbean? Good question. No, not offhand, but I'm sure if I Google Royal Caribbean internships, how old are you, Terry? Or are you asking for like your kids? There is the, go to the Royal Caribbean Careers website. It's rclcareers.com. I would go over there. There are internships. In fact, there's I'm seeing jobs that I don't know if they're still available, but they were summer internships available through Royal Caribbean. If you just Google Royal Caribbean internships, you'll find it right there. So, 18, nice. That's awesome, Terry. What do you want to do? What kind of work would you like to do on a cruise ship? I don't work for the cruise line. I'm just curious. Mike Pastore, the medical facility can do everything we can do in an ambulance plus more. Yep, that sounds about right. I'd agree on that one. Carlos, give me those winning lottery numbers. Yeah, I've given out this. Anyone won the lottery yet? Okay, the winning lottery numbers for this week, guys, are 1, 9, 15, make sure I get these right, 27, 30. I don't know if there's 6 or 7 numbers in the Powerball. And the Powerball number is 6. Is that enough? Do I need another? Let me know if that's enough numbers there. Let's see here. A lot of people ask for the winning lottery numbers. There you go. Hope you got it right. And if you do win, just remember who gave it to you. Gonna go to Virginia Tech for hospitality and tourism. Nice. I'm not sure I've been on 5 ships already. I love the company. I really want to do something for them. Hopefully long term. It's a great idea, my friend. Listen, it's an interesting career, no question about it. But at your age, man, what an opportunity for you, you know? So, and they also have, don't forget, Terry, they have land-based internships and ship-based, so keep that in mind. Although, actually, that being said, I don't know if they do internships on the ship. I know they do it on land for sure at headquarters. Mike Pastor, if I ever win the lottery, I'll be top-tier insider. Thank you, my friend. Steve wants to know now, shake the 8 ball and ask, are those the winning lottery numbers I just gave to chat? Unlikely. You know what? For once, this thing is right. Oh, goodness. Jerry Foskey, can't wait to go on my Caribbean cruise on Freedom of the Seas. Nice. Kelsey Nelson says, I'm 19 and might one day stage manage for them. I'm in school for it right now. That's a great career, Kelsey. I can tell you this. Listen, I'm not a Broadway or production or show expert, but I know a lot of people really do get their start on the cruise ships. It's legit stuff, you know. It's very complex, and it's a great jumping off point to obviously something more on land, whether it's in New York, London, Las Vegas, wherever. Brogan is here. What's up, Brogan? My next cruise is Brilliance of the Seas, 4-night cruise out of Tampa to Cozumel in January. Earshot, I heard that if you buy duty-free stuff like perfume, alcoholic cigarettes, that'll be given to you on the last night. Is that correct? That is correct, yes. It is my Russian name. Done. Is good Magic 8 Ball. Is tell truth. It can also tell you if moose and squirrel are going to attack. Mark Hamill, are they still set up to sail from China this month? No, that got pushed back, Mark. I think the last cancel. I think right now it's August something. It's not July, it's August. But as of right now, I think so, my friend. You might know this, but I really thought about going to China for the cruise, and I'm like, I just can't do the flights are like beyond disaster right there. Brogan, I'm 19 too, and would love to work for Royal Caribbean as I love the company. I mean, obviously, Brogan, I know you live in the UK, my friend. I don't know what their internship policy is in their offices or where they're based, but that'd be great. KB in the house. Hey, Matt, I want to let you know that I am here. KB, thank you, my friend, for joining us here. Always a pleasure. Thank you for your generosity. Don, would you just die if everyone played those numbers and won? I would love it, Don, if that was the case. And I would just hope that if anybody wins the lottery based on my numbers, I'm not asking for half. I'm asking for like $1 million. That's it. Just a measly $1 million, okay? Just remember the old Napster. Okay? 1 million. Just between us. I will keep your secret safe. I will not mention it to anybody. Mum's the word. Just saying. But that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Oh, goodness. Steve says, I know some of the dancers train in Tampa. Yeah, they have a facility actually in it's South Florida, but I forget the name of the city that they're in. It's not Miami, it's a different city. But excuse me, the Royal Caribbean Production Company. They do some serious work there. So getting back to that, apologize for coughing on Mike here. If you, I mean, look, working on a cruise ship is an interesting career choice, and for a lot of people, look, being a chef or superintendent, it could be a means to an end. But I think their entertainment aspect, their shows, the production staff, the musicians, I mean, it really is legit stuff that really will get you places in life. Brogan with a super chat as well. I also want to let you know that I am here as well. Yeah, Miramar is what I was thinking, Steve. I can't remember the name. It might be Miramar. I think you're right on that one, Steve. I don't know. One of these days I'm going to make it down there and check it out. So, Steve, cruises for life if I win. That works too. I take trades, But money's a lot easier, a lot simpler. Elizabeth de Blasio, going on a cruise, Anthem, November 21. Do you think it'll happen? Elizabeth, I'm glad you asked that. I want you to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com on the homepage, Elizabeth, right now today, brand new, answering that question. The answer is no, but the answer is, no one knows if you're going to go on your cruise. Sorry, I didn't want to say no. There's a possibility, but nobody knows, truly and honestly. So if you're wondering about any cruises in 2020 or 2021, guys, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I think can I register willmycruisehappen.com and just link it right to that article? Because that I feel like is, I feel like these days, that's the question I get asked all the time. And there is no answer. I mean, nobody knows. So, willmycruisehappen.com. Jorgen Nielsen, will any of the cruise lines go bankrupt? You never know. Ooh, willmycruisehappen.com is available. I'll have to book that. No one knows, Jorgen. I mean, number one, it's a little early. The good news is major cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, they've generated enough cash through loan restructuring, through loans in general, that they have enough cash to keep them going at least until about summer next year. And that's assuming they don't make any other changes. And that also assumes absolutely no revenue between now and then. So they've got a lot of runway to go, Jorgen. It's a little early to really deeply consider that. I think there'll be a lot more warning signs right there. Lisa says, I do look like Brad Pitt. Yes, that's absolutely true. Michael DeWitt, the Royal Caribbean Production Studio located in Florida Internet, FIU, Biscayne Bay campus, Miami. Thank you, Michael. Sorry, I mispronounced your name, and I'm upset at myself for doing that, because, anyway. Michelle DeWitt, thank you very much. It is a FIU in Biscayne Bay, so thank you for that information. You're absolutely right. Cruise Addicts with the super chat. Thank you, Cruise Addicts. Thank you for giving us such good information about Royal Caribbean, loyal to Royal here. Well, thank you for joining us here. Really appreciate it. And listen, I love talking Royal Caribbean. You guys know that. And I really appreciate you guys being here, because otherwise I'm talking to myself, right? Bergen, am I correct in thinking Pullmantur is no more as they're scrapping their ships? We just simply don't know. There's been no announcements. It's everything. There's just been nothing announced by the cruise line. So I don't know that it's a definitive one way or another. There's a lot of ambiguity because they haven't said anything right there. So, yeah. Thomas Hooley, going on Vision of the Seas back-to-back in January. We have a port of call, Cologne, Panama. We're not going through the canal, but what is the best way to see the canal on an excursion? Yeah, there's a lot of excursions that go there, and I think that's probably your best bet. Michelle B, I know it's been discussed as a phased return to cruising, but if Royal Caribbean has to wait until March to sail, you think they will still do a gradual phased approach? Yes, almost certainly. Almost certainly, Michelle. Based on what Royal Caribbean has said, that is going to be their approach. I cannot imagine a scenario, Michelle, in which they resume sailing to 26 ships all at once. It's just not going to happen. So, Jeff Lippman, Matt, have you ever booked a Mediterranean cruise? I have one booked June 2021 on Harmony, leaves from Barcelona. I have not, Jeff, but I do want to recommend a podcast episode for you to listen to, which is all about what you need to know about European cruises. Basically, it's a primer from someone like you or me from North America going on their first European cruise. Episode 248 of the Royal Caribbean Blog Podcast. Check that out. I think it's a good way for you to do right there. Jerry Foskey, did the balconies on the Freedom of the Seas get upgraded as well? I don't believe so. I really want to. I'm gonna book this. Add to cart. I'm getting willmycruisehappen.com. And then guys, when anybody asks, not yet though, don't do it yet. But anybody asks, is my cruise gonna happen? You just say, hey, good news. The answer is over at willmycruisehappen.com. After I register it. Next step, checkout. I'll need it for 1 year. I'm not gonna pay. Hey, look at that. Already saving money here. Login. Lisa wants to know, does Izumi on Brilliance have hibachi? They do not, but they do have, Lisa, the hot rocks. So if you're not a big on sushi, no worries. My wife is not as well. There's some great hot rock options for you over there to enjoy. The hot rocks are basically, you get a hot rock that you cook your meat on, chicken, beef, shrimp, I think. It's really good. And great if you don't like sushi. Highly recommend it. Let's see here. Kelsey, if they resume at limited capacity, will they kick off someone I've already booked passengers on overbooked ships? This is a good question, Kelsey. We don't know the answer to that one. I think that's going to be part of the answers we're going to get once that healthy sail panel makes the recommendations. So, all right. Willmycruisehappen.com. I should probably have spell checked this before I bought it. Yes, that looks correct. Now manage the domain. And I'm going to do this on the fly. It should be pretty quick. But we're going to make this work, guys. Copy link. I want to forward my domain. Forward. URL forwarding. Yes, indeed. Will it happen? Redirect now to... And go. There we go. It'll take a couple minutes for the internet to catch up, but it will happen. What is a hot rock? So the hot rock is it's basically you get it's a rock. It's like a giant brick that's heated up to like 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and you cook your food on it directly. Jerry, can you tell me the itinerary for Freedom of the Seas? While she's out of San Juan, she sails to the Southern Caribbean. So you're talking about the ABC Islands, as well as places like St. Kitts and whatnot. They alternate between two different itineraries. Jorgen, does Royal have an amazing sushi on board? They do. Listen, I love sushi. Izumi Sushi is fantastic. They do a great job with it. Angel Eyes 614. Is there a podcast on cruising to Hawaii? I don't think I've done one. Could be wrong on that one. To the Googles. Have I ever done a podcast about Hawaii? I have no idea. Have I done a podcast on Hawaii? I don't think I have. It's a very rare occurrence for Royal Caribbean. It doesn't happen. It only happens for usually twice a year, when it goes to Australia and then when the ship comes back to North America. So, how do you make money? Me or in general? Because in general, you work for somebody or do something. I'm not sure. That's a very deep question right there. Natalie's B. It's fun to cook on the hot rock. Absolutely. Kathy, they would have to have a lottery because I'm sure there'll be no volunteers to give up their cruise. You never know. I mean, listen, there's a lot of possibilities on that, but it'll have to remain to be seen right there. Let's see here. Oh, Jerry, I answered that question there. Deborah Zawicki, are all the ports planning on reopening when cruising starts again? Our cruise in October 2020 has a different port every day. I personally like having days at sea. I think, Deborah, you're probably going to get your wish in that case. The answer is no. Whenever, Royal Caribbean says, hey, we're going to resume sailings, and that's assuming government permission from the United States, that has no bearing on, what other islands in the world do. That's one of the things, Deborah, I wrote about today at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com is, in addition to the issues that we're seeing here in terms of, health protocols, government approval, you got to remember, you got to have a place to go. The ports have to open up. You cannot have a Royal Caribbean cruise that goes nowhere. It is against U.S. law to do that. So you've got to have, somewhere open. Now, that very well could be the case. It might just be cruises to the Bahamas. It might be cruises to, I think Barbados is open. I think, you know what I mean? So you're going to have limited ports in the beginning because even when this happens, when cruising resumes, you're not going to have every single port available to start with, just like you're not going to have every single cruise ship available when things start there. Carlos, does Royal Caribbean pay me? No. I don't work for Royal Caribbean at all. No, I don't work for Royal Caribbean at all. Let's see here. Natalie's, I have a cruise booked from Italy in November. Do you think that will still sail? Hold on. Does this work yet? Yes. Natalie's, go to willmycruisehappen.com. The answer to your question is at willmycruisehappen.com. That's the answer to your question. Scott says the link works. Yeah, it just worked for me as well. That's awesome, dude. Theory is here. What's up, Theory? I saw your tweet earlier today, obviously, because we were tweeting each other. And I was like, man, you know what? I missed Theory. Hope you're doing well. Jorgen, is the perfect day at Kokoki an amazing time? It is amazing. It's amazing. Devin C, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Thank you, my friend. Nothing but sports. Did you hear European river cruises are sailing again? I think I saw something about that. It's a good sign, man. Good sign. KB wants to know, will the new Bahamas health visas apply to Perfect Day? Don't know. I mean, Perfect Day Kokoki is part of the Bahamas, but like so many of the other rules that come out there when islands open up for international guests, they don't ever really mention cruising. They're talking about really airports and things like that. So it remains to be seen. Because on the one hand, you know, Kokoki is in the middle of nowhere. It's an island that, while there are some Bahamians that work there, this isn't like downtown Nassau by any means, right? On the other hand, it's still part of the Bahamas, so law applies there regardless. Ralph, best restaurant on Freedom of the Seas? Oh, it just got a refurb. But you know what, my friend? You know, the new Giovanni's table, I think that's where I would probably go if I were you. So, hey, Robin, it's now linked at Will My Cruise Happen? There you go, guys. So, guys, if anyone wants to know, I got the answer for you. It's exclusive right here. If you want to know if your cruise this year or next year is going to sail, the answer for you is at Royal Caribbean Blog. Sorry, it is at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, but it's at WillMyCruiseHappen.com. Did I hear that Carnival Mardi Gras is delayed? I did see that. Of course, not surprising, but you had, of course, Odyssey this season as well. Sydney Forrester. Hello, Sydney. Matt, I see what you did there. Got the domain name to point to Royal Caribbean blog post about the sailing. Genius. If people actually go to it, that's even better. But yeah, listen. It's, it is the all seriousness. It's a really fair question. I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not making fun of anybody here. A lot of people asking me this question. Every time we're live here, you guys have been in more than one of my live chats here on YouTube. You know this is the question I get asked all the time. I'm going on Blank of the Seas in this month. Will it happen? And I don't know the answer, but this is a really, the blog post that I really think paints a really interesting and detailed picture why we just don't know. It's not because I'm trying to be facetious. It's not like I have any inside info. It's all over there. Martha, what do you think of our chances on cruising from Fort Lauderdale in December on Royal Caribbean? Martha, hello. The answer to your question is at willmycruisehappen.com. So check it out. But it's the honest truth. I mean, the answer is no one knows, Martha. But the answer why no one knows, seems like contradictory, is at Royal Caribbean. It is at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. The answer why no one knows, Martha, is at willmycruisehappen.com. Vinny in the house. What's up, Vinny? I'm not sure if I should purchase the alcohol package. I usually don't drink that much in general, but I don't want to lose out on the price it will cost if I buy it on the cruise planner. And Vinny, that's a really good point. So here's my recommendation for you, my friend. Number one, you book it today on the cruise planner. Yeah, you pay for it now, but you can change your mind later on. You can cancel that all the way up until your sail date. So, you know, if you buy it today, Vinny, and then you're like, you know, a month from now, 6 months from now, whatever, up to your sail date, you're like, you know what? I really don't want this. You can cancel. There's no penalty. It's pretty quick. So I would say buy it now, lock in that price, and then you have time to change your mind. Ed Spees with the super chat. Thank you, Ed. Does your nose run? Does your feet smell? Matt, you're built upside down. Oh, okay, now I get it. I'm going to tell my kids that joke later on. They're like, what are you talking about, Dad? Ed, thank you for generosity, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chosen One, I love you, man. You're the best. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here, more importantly. Terry, so 5 to 6 cocktails equate to getting your money's worth on the alcoholic package. Generally speaking, yes. That's a generalization. It doesn't include anything else included with the drink package, like soda or coffees or, you know, but yeah. MJ, didn't Royal Caribbean announce they were going back to Grand Bahama? I imagine it's been put on hold for now. Well, yeah, to Freeport. Yeah, they actually were supposed to be building a new cruise port over there. But yeah. Paul, was cruising shut down after 9/11? I believe if there was anything shut down, it was a very short period of time. Like, you know, a couple weeks, maybe a month. There was not anything remotely like this. So. Don, I'm going to hide your message here because I don't think you should be sharing your email address. If you can't figure out, well, the way to do super chat, Don, I see your message here. YouTube has flagged it because I don't want your email to go out there, but I want to answer your question, Don. First of all, thank you for your generosity. You don't have to do that. Below the chat, you see that dollar sign? Click on that. If that doesn't work, Don, or you can't figure it out, totally cool. Go to royalcaribbeanblog.com/donate. That's the other place you can do it, Don. So let me know if that works for you, either one. But the super chat is the dollar sign link, little button thingy, right below where you're typing your messages in. Hopefully that makes sense. Chase, how many times have you been on a Carnival cruise ship? 0. I've never been on a Carnival cruise ship before. So, you are slow tonight, Captain Cranky. You're not wrong on that one. Sarah, do you think the Royal Caribbean will take out some of the machines in the gym? I think they'll, if I could see them certainly spacing things out so that they're not so close together. If that means some get taken out, sure, I could see that possibly being the case. But, Markham, which ship has the best solarium? Radiance class. Brilliance of the Seas. Love it. But any of the Radiance class ships I think are fantastic. What cruise lines are probably not going to come back after this is over? Pullmantur? That's a good question. I don't know, my friend. It's a loaded question, really. So, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm caught up on chat, guys. Appreciate it. All right, on that note, I think we're going to wrap up today. We're almost at an hour of live chat in here. Woo! That's a lot. Appreciate you guys joining me here. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. There's plenty more to keep you busy over there. A couple new blog posts out there, new podcast episodes. Our message boards are up there as well. And plenty to keep you busy, keep you occupied, pass the time until our next live broadcast. Guys, I really appreciate all of your support, the generosity. I'm going to say some thank yous right now. Thank you, Ed Speece. Thank you, Cruise Addicts. Thank you, Brogan. Thank you, KB. Thank you, Susan Westfall. Thank you, Gary Miola. Thank you, Tony Diaz. Thank you, Randy Patrick. Nick Perez, thank you. D. Matthew M, thank you. And Jared, thank you so much for your generosity, guys. Really appreciate it. It goes so far. I'll never be able to put into words, quite frankly, all of your support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy. Do something fun. Stay safe out there, guys. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. See you guys.